Hello everyone, welcome back to the Undercut. Today we bring you a special episode on, of course, Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari. We're going to discuss all the details in this special episode, which should be around 10 to 20 minutes long. All of the contract details, everything you need to know about the deal, and what entails for Lewis Hamilton's 2025 season and beyond, and of course Mercedes-Benz and who their potential replacement for Lewis Hamilton could be in the future. So first things first, what are your thoughts initially to Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari?
Mate, it was crazy day.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. I just woke up that morning, scrolling through Instagram, you know, as you do. And there it is. Hamilton's... what? Coming
Yeah.
in?
It's crazy, wasn't it?
I rang you, didn't I, straight away?
Yeah, 100%. We tried to film a video initially, just a quick one, but we didn't have time because we were busy.
Yeah.
So we ended up thinking, okay, well, we're gonna put all our thoughts together and see what else comes out. Wait till Mercedes announce it.
Get a few details.
Wait until Lewis himself says something, which he has now,
Yes.
which we'll come on to. But yeah, it was a crazy day. It was mental, and no one saw it coming. Yeah, I know. Yeah, transfer deadline day for the Premier League, and then Lewis Hamilton goes and blows out of the water.
Yeah. it was mental.
Yeah.
Absolutely mental.
Oh, it's crazy. So he's moving from Mercedes-Benz to Ferrari. He will replace Carlos Sainz
Yeah.
in 2025, which means we're going to have a full season of Lewis at Mercedes, Carlos at Ferrari, where they know they're not going to be in those seats anymore come the end of the season, which for Carlos's sake...
What do you call a Spaniard without a car?
Oh no. What?
Carlos.
Ah, I like that. So he's on a multi-year deal. At the moment, it is confirmed to be a two-year.
2 year plus the option of another year.
Plus the option of an extension. So if it goes wrong, there is a way out for Hamilton.
Yeah, what is the 2 year? First year 2026 and the new regs coming in.
Yeah.
If they get that horribly wrong, no.
Yeah.
But if they get it right, he's got another year.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's probably hit it. He's probably hit the nail on the head with this one, hasn't he? Because he's coming into the team a year before the new regs, which means he can get to know the team.
Yeah.
Get to know Charles, get to know how Ferrari work on a day-to-day basis for a year, and then the new regs come in and he's going to be embedded within the team.
What was it? Wasn't it big regulations? It was Hamilton 4 years without a title. Moves to a team 1 year before the new regs come in.
Yeah.
And then history was made. Is he doing it for the second time?
Well, this is the debate, isn't it? The similarities are striking.
4 years again.
Yeah.
Without a title. 1 year before the new regs.
Well, we don't know that yet. He could win this. If he could win.
Oh yeah.
This year.
I'm backing him to.
He could do it. Like, let's not forget. Like, if somehow that Mercedes turns out to be amazing.
Yeah.
But I think one of the reasons why is because he's probably seen the progress Mercedes have made and isn't confident.
Well, what
with it?
The thing is, though, like, this comes out the day after he's been into Brackley and tested the car.
Yeah. Which is
it's worrying for Mercedes fans.
It is worrying. But yeah, you're right. You're totally right, hinting on that point about
what
him
has
going
Ferrari
to Mercedes.
told him for him to do this?
Well, we know he's good mates with Fred Vasseur. We know Fred
Yes.
and him obviously won lots together in GP2 in Hamilton's earlier years. So I think there is that friendship there. And I think Fred probably has a close relationship with Hamilton in the paddock and has probably told him, hey, this is what we're doing at Ferrari, in the new regs, and this is what we're planning to do. And
he wouldn't have done it if he didn't believe that they would have a championship winning car.
Yeah. And it's not like Alonso. Like, we've got to remember that the likes of Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, they moved to Ferrari, but we also got to remember they made very poor career decisions, especially Fernando Alonso.
Yes.
So Hamilton, I think, is a little bit more. He's a little bit more. What's the word? He's a bit more held back. A little bit more like he will only switch if he thinks it's
he's got
100%.
Yeah.
Right, because he's only been in two teams the whole 18 years.
Well, this will be his third.
This will be his third. So,
and that's a bit of a madness. McLaren, Mercedes, and now Ferrari.
Yeah, two of the three of the biggest teams in the sport. But it's I think it's crazy. We've also got to remember as well, how much money is this deal worth?
Now, there's rumoured that he will be making 100 million off this deal.
That's crazy, isn't it?
100 million.
100 million.
That is in dollars.
That's the current rumour anyway.
Yes, that's
it
dollars.
hasn't locked in, but 100 million is mental.
Yeah, and that's also then, because he's had quite a few meetings with John Elkin.
Yeah.
And it's rumoured that John's also promised him help in funding and help him set up new initiatives with his diversity, his equality, and his Mission 44, all that stuff. So that's probably swayed him a bit there as well, with Ferrari doing this, supporting Hamilton's extracurricular stuff.
Yeah, because he does a lot of fashion stuff. He likes to support.
Yeah, that's a new thing with Ferrari. You don't see drivers at Ferrari have these, his presence outside of the team. Ferrari, their drivers, Maranello.
Yeah.
Focused in, whereas Hamilton's going to be completely different, and we'll see how they affare, because Hamilton doesn't like going to the factory all the time, does he? He likes to travel, he likes to have his fun, he likes to do his own thing.
It wasn't until too many years ago that he barely raced on the simulator.
Yes, he didn't.
It was only recently that he started doing that more often.
When Mercedes produced that shitbox.
He had to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy because Ferrari are willing to, and like you said, Ferrari have always been the type of team where you don't really see drivers kind of exceed the name. It's always been about Ferrari. It's Ferrari this, Ferrari that.
Yeah, but what was it then? The Ferrari stock exchange or stakes or whatever it is, had gone up by something like 9% since the announcement.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This is the best time, either right now or just before Hamilton officially joins the team at the end of the year, are the best times to buy shares in Ferrari.
Yeah.
Because it will be mad. But it's also been confirmed as well, or rumoured I should say, it's not really confirmed, but many reliable sources have also come out stating that Hamilton is trying to sway higher-ups in Mercedes to also follow him, including Bono, Chauvelin, the likes. That Ferrari are trying to persuade them to come over as well, which is also a major detail that on the surface people may not realise is a massive deal at first, but behind the scenes these guys are what make the when the biggest name that
give him Hamilton Bono
exactly
in his ear while he's racing, it'll just calm him down massively and give him that sense of
security.
Yeah.
It's the biggest names that everyone always thinks towards are Adrian Newey, those type of guys.
And that's the thing, wasn't it last year all them rumours came out about Ferrari nearly sniped Adrian Newey, didn't they?
Did they?
As well, yeah. Christian Horner came out and admitted that it was half an hour away before they locked him down, which, imagine if Ferrari got Adrian Newey, Lewis Hamilton coming, what car would they build for 2026?
It'd be dominant. But one thing I also want to point out that I don't think anyone has really mentioned is that Christian Horner was right in that whole debacle with Lewis Hamilton last year. Lewis Hamilton was poaching around other teams for this deal to have gone through. Everyone was saying, oh, well, no, I don't believe Christian Horner. Lewis Hamilton hasn't been talking to Red Bull or any other team.
I don't think he was talking to Red Bull.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a coincidence that Lewis Hamilton has been signing a deal with Ferrari, and then Christian Horner says, well, Hamilton spoke to us about potentially wanting to sign a contract. That, I think it suggests to me that Hamilton's been poaching around, seeing if there's a seat.
I think he's right in saying Hamilton has been poaching around, but it was quite telling how when Hamilton was asked throughout the year about his rumours and that, he never actually shot down any of them completely, unlike the one with Red Bull when Christian said about him coming to Red Bull. Hamilton was quick to shut that one down.
Yeah, but I think Christian was right, though.
I think Christian was right in terms of he's been poaching around Piquet. I reckon he might have had a little word with McLaren to see what their standpoint was. Because he was full of praise with McLaren, wasn't he, last year?
He was full of praise.
So I reckon he's probably had a little chat with them. But I think his main focus probably I think it's mainly down to probably John Elkann, you know.
John Elkann's been a big player in all
I
of this.
think,
In
yes.
Hamilton leaving Mercedes for
I
Ferrari.
think he's been a huge player in all this, and it's just come through on it now, and it's
Yeah. So that's pretty much all you really need to know about the deal. It's mainly just Hamilton's on a multi-year deal plus
Yes.
1 year. It's rumoured to be 100 million. They're also trying to poach the likes of Bono, shoveling higher ups at Mercedes to come over to Ferrari as well, who are also very deeply connected to Lewis. And yeah, Lewis is going to be allowed to carry on with the extracurricular stuff that he does off the track. So that's the main details, bulk of the announcement so far. But I think going on to maybe more speculative questions. So number one, I think it's worth to ask the question: how does Lewis Hamilton pair up against Charles Leclerc?
Well, what was interesting, a lot has been coming up all over my social media. Do you remember they were in a driver's press conference last year,
Yeah.
and someone asked Charles Leclerc, who would your ideal teammate be?
Oh yeah, and he says Lewis.
And he just goes, hello, Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's quite interesting, because why has Charles said that and then this has come out? Do you think Charles knew that Lewis has been asking around at Ferrari at that time, or
I don't think so.
has it been that long that Lewis has been asking?
I don't think so. I think Charles. I think because Lewis is probably the most complete driver on the grid in terms of experience and the pace that he still has. So I think Lewis is anyone's ideal teammate. Because I mean, going up against 7-time champ. Well, maybe not ideal in terms of maybe if you're Bottas or, you know, a driver that's maybe coming to the end or of a lower caliper. Like if Lewis went up against Logan Sargent, you know, it's probably not ideal for Sargent to be stacking up against a 7-time champ. But if you're like
a proper thing for Charles now, isn't it?
well, yeah, I think it's from Charles's standpoint. Like you want to be going up against the likes of Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris.
See where he lies, and
Yeah.
obviously Charles is still quite young, isn't he? And I think it could be good for Charles in the future as well. And like you got to think, Charles is learning experiences. He's had Vettel and now Lewis.
Crazy.
He's going to be a driver that's learned from two of the very best.
Yeah.
And I'd watch out for Charles in the future,
Yeah.
because I think you can't not have them caliber of drivers as your teammates and not pick up something, even if you're that good of a driver already.
Yeah. So here's the question then, that's on everyone's minds: is who finishes ahead in the 2025 standings?
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton or Charles Leclerc?
Lewis Hamilton.
You think so?
I think qualifying might be a Charles, but I think Lewis will just... He's always got some of that.
Got the consistency.
Yeah, and Charles doesn't have that.
It's hard to not back Hamilton. However, I think we're going to have to see his performance this season first.
I mean, 2025, new team, new everything, blah, 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 blah. You could excuse him maybe being behind Charles. It's like, I don't see it happening, really. I think it could be close, but I don't see it happening. And then 2026, new regs, I think you just blitz it. But, yeah, I think it could take him a year to settle into Ferrari, because Ferrari's a thingy team. It's a tough team to go into.
Yeah.
It's a very tough team to go into for anyone.
And that's Charles's team.
It's Charles' team. Charles used to it. But if there is one man that can go into a team and sort himself out, it would be Hamilton.
Yeah, that's true. There's nothing denying that Hamilton won't be able to settle in and take it to Charles straight away.
Especially if he's got Bono there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Ferrari want Hamilton to feel as comfortable as possible going into making the transition. I think Mercedes...
he doesn't want a new engineer just in his ear. So, right, plan G.
Plan G, Plan F,
Yeah.
Plan Z.
He wants Bono. Right, it's hammer time.
We're checking.
Yeah.
So that brings us on to the final question, I guess, and that's who replaces Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes? I think that's the most interesting question out of all of this.
I'm going to pose something to you.
Okay.
At this present point in time, it could be me just having wishful thinking.
Okay.
I would not rule out a return of Seb Vettel.
Come on now.
Nah.
Seb Vettel. Really?
Nah, I wouldn't rule it out. Hey, when Alonso retired, people were like, nah, he won't come back. I think Mercedes, it's a good time to come back just before the regs. If Vettel's heart's in it, if I'm Mercedes, I would have a little conversation there.
I don't think his heart's in it. Plus, I think there are other drivers that are...
Who though?
Well, I've got 3 candidates. There's 3 drivers that I think could be within a shout for this seat.
Right.
Number 1, I think is probably the most obvious one. Everyone is saying it. It's Alex Albon. It's he's quick. He's young.
No.
He'll push George.
No.
He's proved he's a great driver, and I think it's time he takes that step up.
No.
Number 2, Fernando Alonso. This could be his chance and his last chance at a top seat in the sport.
Yeah.
So I don't think Mercedes call Fernando. I think Fernando calls Mercedes and goes, listen.
There has been them rumours though, aren't there, that Mercedes and Fernando have already started taking a look.
Yeah. So Fernando Alonso, I think, is a shout. And my third and final option is it's a straight swap, and Carlos Sainz goes into the Mercedes.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's not got a drive. My only Carlos Sainz is like, okay, I can see why they wouldn't, because maybe he might go to Audi and might have a year in Sauber in 2025.
Yeah, I could see that.
But the issue is Sainz isn't getting any younger, and he wants to win, and he'll want to win now. So I think, why not? You've got a year at Mercedes in 2025. Maybe he only has a 1-year contract. If it doesn't go right, then he moves to Audi.
I don't think Mercedes will want a 1-year contract though.
No, I don't think they would. But I think Sainz, you can't rule him out because he's now an available driver. He's one of the quickest drivers, as he's proven. He's gone up against Charles. I don't see why Mercedes wouldn't look at him.
I think out of all them 3, your most realistic is Fernando.
I think Fernando's got a good shot. I think Fernando will see this maybe as an opportunity.
If I'm Mercedes, I would not have Alex Albon.
Why?
I don't think it would work. I don't think he's that good.
Friends with George.
I don't care if
would get on.
You can be bloody best mates with whoever. Doesn't mean that you're gonna get on well and drive well. Like, you gotta think Hamilton and Rosberg were best mates all their lives until they got to Mercedes teammates, and look how that turned out.
They were very good pals, weren't they?
So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think Albon is the caliber that the Mercedes need. I don't think George is either. But, yeah. If I'm Mercedes, I wouldn't go for any of them, to be honest.
Who would you go for?
Because I would love a Seb Vettel return. I know it's the most unlikely thing possible. Yeah. But could you imagine the scenes? The scenes.
It would be good, but
scenes.
But also, I think George would whitewash him.
Do you?
Yeah, and I also think that he's been out for too long.
A year.
No, but that's enough. And also, he was kind of tailing off. As much as we like Vettel and liked him at the end of his career, he was tailing off.
Should we get Kimi?
Oh my god! Imagine.
No.
Carlos Sainz Senior.
See, Carlos Sainz, I feel like he would want to go to Audi. I think Audi's playing in his head.
Yeah.
Fernando Alonso, he's at the age now where it's a gamble. It's a huge gamble on Fernando. I know he's performing okay at Aston Martin, and people have still got their opinions that he's this good, blah, blah, blah. I don't, but it's a gamble with him.
Yeah.
And then Albon, again, it's a gamble. We saw how he performed when he went to Red Bull. Obviously, he's got a little bit more experience now, but I don't think he is good enough. Who do I put into that seat? I don't know, because it's Mercedes. It's whether you want to have someone next to George and have the conundrum of that driver potentially being just as good as George, or do you want a young person to come in?
I think it wouldn't be a bad option either. I know McLaren would never let this happen, but
Lando.
Not Lando.
Oscar.
Snatch up Oscar potentially.
Maybe.
it's an interesting one, and I also think something worth mentioning as well. I heard Craig Slater talk about this. Is that McLaren were very quick at the start of last week to sign Norris.
Very quick.
Very quick. And I think potentially they heard that Lewis was going to Ferrari, and they knew that if he did, Toto would be straight on the phone to Lando Norris saying, "You need to get your ass to Mercedes, boy."
Yeah.
So I think McLaren were quick to secure.
They were quick on that, weren't they? Yeah.
To secure Lando down to that seat. But it's like, who else? Because the thing is that we've got this really big conundrum now where it's like, you've got to have someone good enough to put in those Lewis Hamilton-esque, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso performances. Like, they can't be lacking. They can't be doing a Gasly against Max Verstappen type thing. They need to be there with George, if not beyond George. And they need to be scoring those points. They need to be race worthy.
Can we get a return of Bottas?
Mate, you know what? Yeah, no. I don't know.
Perez is going to be out of contract as well.
I don't think you go for Perez. It's an interesting one.
Do
yeah,
they give
I
a
don't know.
seat to Mick?
No, I don't think.
Do you not?
I think
you not reckon?
I rate Mick, and I think Mick should come back into the sport. But I think if I was Mercedes, I'd put Mick into a Williams seat, or I'd try and put Mick into another seat first, and then develop him up, because I think he's been out the sport for too long now to throw him straight into that Mercedes seat, and I think he needs developing more before he.
I wouldn't be mad at Gasly.
Gasly's another member. Also, by the way, Esteban Ocon is technically on loan at Alpine from Mercedes, so he's still Mercedes driver.
I would be really unhappy if Mercedes chose Ocon over Gasly.
I don't think Alpine would let Gasly go.
Do you not?
No, I don't think they would. I think if Ocon leaves that team, Gasly is the star man. So, well, it's interesting. Who is going to go to Mercedes? Who are you going to put? Who's your final? You got to lock this in.
I don't
your
want to
prediction.
lock one in. No.
Just lock one in for now.
I don't think I can lock one in now.
For now.
I don't think I can though.
You can.
It's up in the air because this year we have a unique scenario of 14 drivers out of contract at the end of this year.
Okay, based on what we know now.
And if none of them perform, I don't think quite a lot of them could just be off the grid. I think we could have 10 gone.
Yeah, no, I do as well.
Like, it's difficult.
You got to lock in one. What's the most likely option right now, right this second, would you say, out of all of them? In your opinion?
If there's one, and I would have, it would be Fernando Alonso right this second.
You'd go Fernando Alonso right now?
Right this second, I think that's the most likely. I think it's a wrong choice, but I think that's the most likely.
Okay, fair enough. I'd go Alex Albon at this moment in time, I think. But either way, we'll see.
I think he could be a main candidate for when Perez goes there, potentially. It depends how Ricciardo and Yuki perform, though.
But, well, I mean, we saw...
It's up in the air.
We saw, though, Red Bull said they haven't been in talks with Albon. In fact, you posted it on the story.
Yeah, I did.
You posted it on the Insta story.
I know, but that, just because they haven't been in talks now, I think we could be in for the craziest mid-season F1 has seen.
100%. So with that being said, make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be talking about it all season long and anticipating Hamilton's move to Ferrari come 2025. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, leave a like, comment down below what you think of Hamilton's move, and we'll see you guys when we post next podcast, which will be Sunday. No, it won't. You're watching it. We'll have a clip soon. I don't know, man. We record these videos and then they go out at different times, but I don't know when this is going on. Either way, we'll see you in the next video.
It's on tomorrow, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Bye.